Hey, what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to reminisce a little bit about a niche that really helped me get quite a few sales on Etsy specifically. And I noticed that when I say this niche, it's actually a big brand, and you can debate whether people are infringing or not that sell shirts to people who are familiar with this brand, because it is definitely a gray area. But I noticed that now they are officially a Amazon merch partner brand, and they're running ads. They've got an Amazon store. I know quite a few people have made money selling to fans, if you will, of the franchise. So I'm going to reveal what this is, what niche I'm talking about in this video, and have a couple takeaways about where I think Amazon merch is headed as I see more and more of these big brands partnering with Amazon merch. So let's get started. Real quick, just wanted to remind you I've got some free resources for you, all linked at the top of the description. I've got a free weekly print-on-demand giveaway with lots of prizes. I've got a free 7-day Merch by Amazon mini course delivered via email, 1 lesson a day. And I've got a great Merch by Amazon Facebook group, so check all of those out. They are linked in the description. All right, so the big brand that I'm talking about today is Dungeons and Dragons. No, I've never played, but I do know that a lot of people that play this game purchase t-shirts related to the game. But here's what's kind of the gray area, right? I'm not talking about going and selling the Dungeons and Dragons logo on a t-shirt. Of course, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying to sell graphics from anything related to Dungeons and Dragons, right? But what about like the dice, right? I've never played the game, by the way, but there's, I think, a 20-sided dice that you use to play. Well, are you allowed to put that on a t-shirt? Because that's what I used to do back in the day, back when I was on my first Etsy shop. Not like I planned it, right? But I remember just doing niche research. Actually, you know where? I got the idea from Reddit, just reading a Reddit thread of like, what's your favorite t-shirt? So I literally just combed through that thread for hours, writing down everybody's responses. And ultimately, somebody said something about the 20-sided die. So I put that on a t-shirt, start making sales. You guys already know what I did next. I doubled down and made a bunch more, made them colored, made them, whatever. But, is it wrong to sell a dice on a shirt if the dice is involved in playing the game itself? I don't know. Should we hire lawyers to litigate this? Personally, I think it's okay to sell a dice, right? Like just a die. That's like saying, oh, well, Monopoly uses the 6-sided, dice, so we can't put that on a t-shirt. But what about every other game too that also uses that, right? What about the games in Vegas where you throw dice? Right? So it's a little bit of a gray area. I know everybody's got, opinions, and some people get super triggered when you imply that maybe you sold a shirt to somebody who was buying the shirt because they because they like the board game or something. That's okay. Let me know your comment in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you, but that wasn't the point of this video. What I really wanted to share is that they are officially on Amazon, and they're not the only big brand to become an official Amazon Merch on Demand partner. If you've been paying attention, there are a ton of big brands that are partnering with Amazon Merch on Demand. Even like the new Top Gun movie, right? This is just a movie. You know how movies kind of, if you go to Google Trends and you search for the movie title, you see one big spike and then it kind of just disappears for 99.9% of movies. But even they are getting smart now and partnering with Amazon merch. And I mean, hey, power to them. We saw how well those Top Gun shirts were selling. So why not? I mean, it comes at no cost, as we know, as the Amazon merch sellers know. But what I'm really trying to show you is that I think Amazon merch is reaching out to these big brands, right? Because what's the odds that these brands are finding Amazon merch? I think Amazon merch is reaching out, proposing that they form a partnership because it's so mutually beneficial, especially when you're charging $29.99 for a long sleeve shirt. They're probably making $9 in royalties there, or $21.99 for a short sleeve shirt, probably making like, $7 a sale there. And notice this is an ad. This is a sponsored brand ad, which leads me to believe that when Amazon merch probably reaches out to these brands, they probably say, by the way, if you sign on, our onboarding team will create t-shirt designs for you. I'm sure they have graphic designers on staff. I'm sure they have somebody that sets up ads for them on staff. I mean, I'm not sure, but if my life depended on it, I would definitely lean on that Amazon merch has an onboarding team that probably sets up the shirts, sets up the ads, sets up the sponsored brand ads like you're seeing behind me here, the sponsored product ads. Who knows? Maybe they get a better rate. Who knows? But this is coming. More and more brands are going to sign on board with Amazon merch. And when I saw, Dungeons and Dragons, it just reminded me of like, wow, I don't know about you guys. I do a lot of niche research, shop reviews, etc. Like I've seen so many people that were making money selling to the board game crowd, right? I'm not saying that they were infringing and using graphics and, the logo or anything like that. I'm saying that, you put the dice on, you put a funny saying on. I think there was one, I thought I captured a screenshot, but you can go looking right now. There's still people that are not the official Dungeons and Dragons brand selling shirts to people who play the game because they're putting like the funny, I mean, again, I've never played, but if you kind of scroll through the niche, you'll see some repetition of little phrases and whatnot, like text that you can kind of pair with the shirts. But if I was selling anything in this space, I would certainly be proactive and go ahead and delete it. The time has come, if you ask me anyways, to get rid of that, and stop trying to market shirts to fans of this brand because as you can see, they've established a presence on Amazon. Now I wanted to mention here, this shirt, which it looked like to me the best seller of the Dungeons and Dragons official shirts, was posted in November 18th, 2021. So that's probably about the time that, this brand specifically established their partnership with Amazon merch. But I did just want to shout out, like if you're using a research tool, for instance, I really like Pretty Merch Pro Plus as like my go-to when I'm doing my top 5 niches of the week. I love that it integrates right with Amazon merch. You guys know how much I love Amazon merch. They do a great job of keeping up with filtering out these brands because these brands that you see here, Dungeons and Dragons, for instance, you have to manually filter those out. There's no way that I'm aware of detecting at scale when it's an official brand and then filtering them out. So just another benefit of using a research tool. If you guys opt to do that, you don't have to scroll through a bunch of protected brands. They just get filtered out automatically and you only look at products that you can sell, that you have the rights to sell. So looks like they also have their own, Amazon store, which I believe you can set up. Who knows how they did it? There's a couple different ways. But they definitely had somebody at Amazon, or I guess if they have an Amazon expert on their staff, set them up with a whole Amazon store. And beyond just Amazon merch, they've got, what is that? Campaign collection. So I guess that's part of of the board game, maybe. Probably have some books if I had to guess. Maybe they're on KDP. It's just interesting. We're going to see more and more of this. It's kind of like how FBA used to be just such a great opportunity for normal people like you and me to make money. And then, what happened? There were, I don't want to say like paint in broad strokes, but like Amazon starts launching a bunch of their own brands and acquiring brands, right? Other big companies start acquiring FBA brands. So if you're like a business aggregator, and you got like venture capital backing you, you just go and you buy people's FBA brands and you kind of lump them together. And then all of a sudden, you've got so much capital behind you, you can probably afford to operate at a loss for any amount of time until if you launch a new product, I'm just saying theoretically, you can throw so much money into that new product launch, even if it's in a really competitive space, because, you got the capital to do so. You've got the, it's not just your money from your bank account, pre or post tax, right? It's so hard, for a normal person, I get it, to be launching products and especially competing directly with, business aggregators and whatnot that have much deeper pockets and probably don't mind to defer profitability, especially if they own, multiple FBA businesses. So I'm kind of rambling, but it looks like it's coming to merch now, where it's going to get harder as merch sellers for us to make money. If I had to guess, I'm guessing, because we're going to see more and more like big brands, just occupying space in search results. You know what I mean? Just think about it. Like there's only so many spots on page 1, especially when you type in very generic search terms. And most likely what's going to happen is, the big brands with the brand recognition will just filter out, or just get ahead of, like rank ahead of our more generic t-shirts that we may sell. So those are my thoughts that I wanted to share for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As I sign off, just wanted to remind you, I do have a full Merch by Amazon course that you can learn more about. There's a link in the description. It walks through how I went from tier 10 to tier 200,000 and how I do pretty well. I do post daily sales updates to my Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, the link is in the description. Check out my daily sales updates. Doing pretty well in 2022. Thank you guys so much for watching though. Please hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new video.